This is Jean Sherrard. Welcome once again to Seattle Now and Then 360. Between 1963, the year of our then photo, and today, arguably much has changed. The Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Voting Rights Act of 1965, the Fair Housing Act of 1968, school desegregation. So why do we often feel stuck in quicksand? Protest signs spaced 57 years apart could have been written by the same hand. Nationally, amid a vision of hope, the summer of 1963 produced profound turmoil. On June 11th, Governor George Wallace stood on the University of Alabama steps, blocking entry to 2 black students until the National Guard cleared their path. On June 12th, NAACP leader Medgar Evers was assassinated outside his Jackson, Mississippi home. On August 28th, the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom took place at the Lincoln Memorial, culminating with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s indelible "I Have a Dream" speech. On September 15th, 4 young black girls were killed in a church bombing in Birmingham, Alabama. In Seattle, 1,000 marchers gathered on the hot morning of Saturday, June 15, 1963, at Mount Zion Baptist Church at 19th Avenue and East Madison Street, and were inspired by the words of Reverend Mance Jackson, pastor of Bethel Christian Methodist Episcopal Church. Jackson called for a plan of action, demanding fair housing and employment practices for black citizens whose 10% jobless rate tripled that of the city overall. "The time is now or never," he said. "We declare war on America's greatest enemies: discrimination, segregation, and racial bigotry. We will have to sacrifice and suffer. Somebody may even have to go to jail." Our now photo is from Thursday, June 4th, 2020, 10 days after George Floyd died, as a Minneapolis police officer knelt on Floyd's neck for nearly 9 minutes. After days of angry protests, police erected a temporary barricade at 11th Avenue and East Pine Street, separating them from Black Lives Matter demonstrators. Late in the afternoon, a small group carrying bouquets of lilies and helium balloons pushed to the front of the crowd. A protester shouted an obscenity, stripped to his shorts, and hopped the barricade, hands aloft. Alone, he advanced towards a line of squad cars. Behind him, the crowd seemed to catch its breath. Some pleaded for him to turn back and avoid arrest. Others took up the chant, "Hands up, don't shoot." Shortly, the protester was arrested and taken into police custody. In 1963, King challenged us to envision a world in which we can hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. Then and now, accomplishing that arduous task is our civic duty. In our then photo, an estimated 1,000 silent protesters head west on East Pine Street near 11th Avenue on June 15, 1963, bound for what is now Westlake Park. Photographer John Valentine captured the mid-March moment. The Congress on Racial Equality and the NAACP sponsored the protest. In today's photo, framed by bouquets of lilies at the same intersection, a lone Black Lives Matter protester, hands up, walks towards the police lines on Thursday, June 4th. The soon-to-be-abandoned East Precinct Station peeks out at top right.